Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel again today. My name's Tony, let's get started. So actually this video was going to be the fourth in the original series that I wanted to upload in a very specific order. And as you can tell by the title, it's about the Supreme Court Justice nomination controversy that's going on right now, and I didn't expect President Trump to have chosen a nominee so soon. Nevertheless, the content of this video is still relevant to the whole topic to inform people better what the opinions are from the Democrats and the Republicans, and I hope that it can still serve an important sort of tool for you to understand exactly what's going on, what have Republicans said in the past, and what the Democratic views have also been as well. Nevertheless, let's get started. To summarize it shortly, not even 24 hours after Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, one of the 9 Supreme Court justices whose ideological leaning was towards the left, Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell already publicly stated that he wanted to fill the vacant Supreme Court position as soon as possible. Keep in mind, this is less than 6 weeks away and counting from the time I make this video till the US presidential election. So then this brings up the important question: why is this so controversial? The reason why this is so controversial is because back in 2016, approximately 9 months before the US election between then candidates Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, President Obama put up a Supreme Court pick for nomination. Judge Merrick Garland, who served on the United States Circuit Judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, and he has served on that court since 1997. Now, when a nomination for a potential Supreme Court justice is made, they are evaluated by what's called the Standing Committee on the Federal Judiciary of the American Bar Association. Now, according to the Standing Committee's website, this is what it says. The Standing Committee on the Federal Judiciary of the American Bar associates and evaluates the professional qualifications of all nominees to the Supreme Court of the United States, Circuit Court of Appeals, District Courts, and the Court of International Trade. The committee's goal is to support and to encourage the selection of the best qualified persons for the federal judiciary. It restricts its evaluation to issues bearing on professional qualifications and does not consider a nominee's philosophy or ideology. The committee's peer review process is structured to achieve impartial evaluations of the integrity, professional competence, and judicial temperament of nominees for the federal judiciary. So exactly what did the Standing Committee have to say on Judge Merrick Garland? And this is quoted from the American Bar transcript from the statement on Merrick Garland, and it says like this, quote, "Judge Merrick Garland is a preeminent member of the legal profession with outstanding legal ability and exceptional breadth of experience. He meets the highest standards of integrity, professional competence, and judicial temperament. It is the unanimous opinion of the Standing Committee that Judge Garland is well qualified to serve as an associate judge of the Supreme Court of the United States." And in case you didn't know, there are 3 tiers to their grading system. And the 3 tiers are like this. You're either not qualified, or well qualified. So Judge Merrick Garland got the highest of honors that they could have possibly had given him. On another day, I actually do want to go more in depth on Judge Merrick Garland, because I believe that he would have been an incredible Supreme Court justice to uphold the rule of law and to be a fair judge. However, that day is not today, and I am here to remind you that Merrick Garland was never even considered by the United States Senate to be a judge. And why was that? Here is a quote from an NPR article that summarizes it fairly well, written from this time period, and it says this, quote, "To sum up events to date, hours after Justice Antonin Scalia's death last February, Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell announced that there would be no hearings, no votes, no action whatsoever on any Supreme Court nomination until the American people got to vote on a new president." Now, at the time, the Senate majority was the Republican Party, 54 Republican seats to the Democrats' 44 seats until the November election, when it became 52 to 46. The Republicans during this time were not even considering the justice nominated by President Obama. The Republicans at the time claimed that the right to nominate and appoint the next Supreme Court justice should have been withheld to the winner of the next presidential election, either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. During the year 2016, here is what the current Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell had to say on the Senate floor on national television about this issue from March 16th, 2016. Here it is.
This could fundamentally alter the direction of the Supreme Court and have a profound impact on our country. So, of course, the American people should have a say in the court's direction. It is the president's constitutional right to nominate a Supreme Court justice, and it is the Senate's constitutional right to act as a check on a president and withhold its consent. As Chairman Grassley and I declared weeks ago and reiterated personally to President Obama, the Senate will continue to observe the Biden rule so that the American people have a voice in this momentous decision. The American people may well elect a president who decides to nominate Judge Garland for Senate consideration. The next president may also nominate somebody very different. Either way, our view is this: give the people a voice in filling this vacancy. Let me remind colleagues of what Vice President Biden said when he was chairman of the Judiciary Committee here in the Senate. Here's what he said: "It would be our pragmatic conclusion that once the political season is underway, and it is, action on a Supreme Court nomination must be put off until after the election campaign is over. That is what is fair to the nominee," he said, "and is central to the process. Otherwise, it seems to me," Chairman Biden went on, "we will be in deep trouble as an institution. Others may fret," he said, "that this approach would leave the court with only 8 members for some time. But as I see it," Chairman Biden said, "the cost of such a result, the need to re-argue 3 or 4 cases that will divide the justice 4-4, are quite minor compared to the cost that a nominee, the president, the Senate, and the nation would have to pay for what would assuredly be a bitter fight, no matter how good a person is nominated by the president." Chairman Joe Biden. Consider that last part. Senator Biden said that the cost to the nation would be too great no matter who the president nominates. President Obama and his allies may now try to pretend this disagreement is about a person. But as I just noted, his own vice president made it clear it's not. The Biden rule reminds us that the decision the Senate announced weeks ago remains about a principle and not a person. About a principle and not a person. It seems clear that President Obama made this nomination not with the intent of seeing the nominee confirmed, but in order to politicize it for purposes of the election, which is the type of thing then Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Biden was concerned about. The exact thing Chairman Biden was concerned about. The Biden rule underlines that what the president has done with this nomination would be unfair to any nominee, and more importantly, the rule warns of the great cost the president's action could carry for our nation. Americans are certain to hear a lot of rhetoric from the other side in the coming days. But here are the facts they should keep in mind. The current Democratic leader said the Senate is not a rubber stamp, and he noted that the Constitution does not require the Senate to give presidential nominees a vote. That's the current Democratic leader. The incoming Democratic leader did not even wait until the final year of George W. Bush's term to essentially tell the Senate he said, not to consider any Supreme Court nominee the president sent. The Biden rule supports what the Senate is doing today, underlining that what we're talking about is a principle and not a person.
Now, to be fair with Mitch McConnell, he brought up some fair points. However, his remarks and the remarks of Republicans at the time started this major precedent. The fact that a president, in the last year of his office, should not nominate a justice for the Supreme Court if he has the option to do so. If you pay attention closely to what he's saying, he's essentially saying that a president shouldn't be allowed to nominate a candidate. Keep in mind, this does not mean that a president is not allowed to do it. There is no law that supports this in the Constitution. Like I said, in recent history, it is the Republicans who started this movement, who started this trend. I would like to follow up Mitch McConnell's words with the words of then President of the United States, Barack Obama. In a White House press meeting on February 24th in 2016, this is what he had to say. The Constitution says that I nominate candidates for the Supreme Court when there's a vacancy and the Senate exercises its constitutional authority to advise and consent. I'm going to do my job. We are going to go through a process, as we have done in 2 previous Supreme Court vacancies, to identify an outstanding candidate that has impeccable legal credentials and that would bring the kind of ability and compassion, objectivity, and legal reasoning to the court that the highest court in the land demands. Once I've made the nomination, Leader McConnell and all of the members of the Senate will make a decision about how they will fulfill their constitutional responsibilities. I recognize that the politics are hard for them, because the easier thing to do is to give in to the most extreme voices in their party and stand pat and do nothing. But that's not our job. Our job is to fulfill our constitutional duties. And so my hope and expectation is that once there is an actual nominee, once this is no longer a hypothetical, that those on the Judiciary Committee recognize that their job is to give this person a review, to show the courtesy of meeting with them. Then they are free to vote whatever their conscience dictates about whether this person is qualified or not. The one thing I think is important to dispel is any notion that somehow that this is some well-established tradition or some constitutional principle that a president in his last year in office cannot fill a Supreme Court vacancy. It's not in the text of the Constitution, and ironically, these are Republicans who say they believe in reading the text of the Constitution and focusing on the intent of the Constitution. None of the Founding Fathers thought that when it comes to the president carrying out his duties, he can do it for 3 years and then on the last year, stop doing it. If in fact the Republicans in the Senate take a posture that defies the Constitution, defies logic, is not supported by tradition simply because of politics, then invariably what you're going to see is a further deterioration in the ability of any president make any judicial nomination, and appointments to the Supreme Court as well as the federal bench suddenly become a complete extension of our polarized politics. And at that point, not only are we going to see more and more vacancies and the court systems break down, but the credibility of the court itself is diminished because it's seen as an extension of our politics. This is a Republican judge, or this is a Democratic judge, rather than this is a Supreme Court justice who's supposed to be standing above the day-to-day politics. And that's what Obama had to say. In my opinion, Obama eloquently encapsulates the climate that was underway that year in 2016, eventually leading into the Trump administration following his November 2016 Electoral College victory. He pretty much predicted the future, ladies and gentlemen. The truth of the matter is that it was the Republicans back in 2016 who created this major new foundation of thinking, where a president cannot nominate a Supreme Court justice pick in their last year of office. In the original script that I had wrote, I had written this: if the Senate and Republican leaders ultimately nominate a justice in the final year, literally weeks, of Trump's 4-year term, then while I cannot call their actions illegal or unconstitutional, I can sincerely call out their blatant hypocrisy and immoral character for choosing to do so. An argument that I've seen thrown around a lot online is that it's the Democrats who are actually being hypocritical, because it was the Democrats who wanted to appoint a new Supreme Court justice during the last year of Obama's presidency. And like I said earlier in the video, back during Obama's presidency, the Senate majority were Republicans. I can assure you that if the Senate majority was Democratic, then Merrick Garland would be a Supreme Court justice today without a shadow of a doubt. That's what would have happened if the Democrats could have gotten their way. Instead, here we are today. The Senate majority back then in 2016 was in fact Republican, and they didn't even consider Merrick Garland. They did not even hold a session even talking about it. So the next time you hear someone calling the Democrats hypocritical based on this issue, then don't forget that in 2020, when the Republicans had the opportunity in order to show themselves at a higher level, they didn't take it. Now did they? Thank you for tuning into today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's content, and if you did, then why don't you drop a like? I would really appreciate it, and it would help my channel continue to grow and encourage me to deliver the news to all the people out there who care about the truth. This is a channel that I want to predicate on being as unbiased as possible, as being right in the middle to represent both sides of every story. But today, I'm sorry, Republicans, you are not being shown in a very good light, because this is unfortunately the stance that the Senate Republicans have decided to take. If you want to continue to support this channel, then please go ahead and subscribe as well. What are your thoughts on the Supreme Court pick? Why don't you go ahead and leave a comment down below talking about how it makes you feel, and who do you think is more on the right, the Republicans or the Democrats? Thank you so much for your support, and have a great day.